everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 5 math. You can find all the lessons on eplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 5 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter place value and number sense. The lessons we're going to cover today are we're going to start with the chapter place values and number sense. The lessons we're going to cover today are Roman numerals, rounding, even or odd arithmetic rules, and understanding integers. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Here I'm in grade 5 math. Chapter we're on right now is place values and number sense. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is Roman numerals. So basically the Roman numerals is another way to write the numbers. That is another way to represent the numbers, right? For example, we can write down the numbers in word forms. We can write down the number in digit form. You can write a number like this. You can write 8. Then in words you can write it like this. And then we have a Roman numeral representation. You can write it like this. So there are so many ways to write the numbers. Roman numeral is one of them, right? So we're going to learn how do we write different numbers using the Roman numerals. So I'm going to write them down, the very basic Roman numerals over here. You can note them down on your board so that you can know them easily. For example, I is for 1, right? Then you have V is for 5. So if you keep adding 1 on the right hand side of the V, the numbers are getting greater and greater. That is 8. 10x is for 10. Then you have 11, and if you add on the left hand side, that is 1 less than. That is 1 less than 10, right? So let's just start with an example. How would you write 19 as a Roman numeral? So for the bigger number, you have to write them down in the expanded form and then you have to convert them into Roman numeral. For example, you can write 19 as 10 plus 9. We know that how to write 10. 10 is x and then 9 is ix. So together they make XIX. Let's just start with the test questions. How would you write 17 as a Roman numeral? So you can write 17 as 10 plus 7. Right, let's just write it down in the expanded form. You can write 17 as 10 plus 7. So 10 you can write as X and 7 you can write V, I, 5, 6 and so together they make X, V, I. The correct option is option number 1 is the correct option. Which number does the Roman numeral represent? You have to see which number is represented. So X, X, I. So X is for 10, again X is for 10 and this is for 2. So just add them. 10 and 10 makes 20 and 20 plus 2 makes 22. So the correct option is 22. Option number 3 is the correct option. Got it? So the given number represents 22. How would you write 39 as a Roman numeral? So you have to write 39. So 39, let's just break down 39 in the expanded form. You can write 39 as 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 9. So you can write it as x, x, x and 9 you can write it as ix. So option number 1 is the correct option. The correct option is option number 1. How would you write 10 as a Roman numeral? You have to write 10. So you can write 10 as x. Option number 1 is the correct option. So you can write 10 as x. Which number does the Roman numeral represent? So which is the correct option? and on which number it is? Very good. 3, it is the correct option is 3. How would you write 37 as a Roman numeral? So which is the correct option? Ten plus. So which option is the correct one? The correct option is option number 1. Very good. Option number 1 is the correct option. What number does this Roman numeral represent? Which is the correct option? The correct option is 32. Very good. Option number 3 is the correct option. Okay, the next one is what number does the Roman numeral represent? Which is the correct option? 14. It is the correct option is option number 2. That is 14. Very good. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is rounding. Let's just start with the lesson. What is 3519 rounded to the nearest thousand? So you have to write it to nearest thousand. So just look at the digit that is at the thousands place. 3 is at the thousands place, right? And now look at the one place, right? So one place, right, you have 5. You have to compare it to 5. 5 is equal to 5. So you need to round up. So when you round up, it would be rounded to, it would be rounded to 3000 because 5 is equal to 5. So you need to round up, replace the rest of the digits with 0 and then add 1 to 3. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So that would be rounded off to 4000. Let's just start with the test questions. What is $90 rounded to the nearest $10? So you have to round 90 to the nearest $10. So 99 is at the tens position and the right you have a 0. You have to write to $10. So that is already round. The correct option is 90. Option number 1 is the correct option. The correct option is 90. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is 618 rounded to nearest 100? So you have 600. You need to round it to the nearest 100. So 6 is at the hundreds position, and right next to 6 you have 5. You have to compare this number, you have 1. You have to compare this number to 5. 1 is less than 5. So the number is less than 5, that means you need to round on the same 100. You have to write 6 and you need to replace the other digits with 0. So it would be rounded to 600. Option number 1 is the correct option. The correct option is 600. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is 3633 rounded to nearest thousand? So the thousand digit that is at the thousands position is 3 is at the thousand position, right? And the next to thousand digit is 6, and 6 is greater than 5. That means you need to round up. You need to replace the other digits with 0, and then you need to add 1 to thousand digit. So it would be rounded off to 4000. So the correct option is 4000. Option number 1 is the correct option. Very good. What is 3823 rounded to nearest 10? So you need to round off to nearest 10, 3823. 2 is at the tens position. And right next to 2 you have 3. And 3 is less than 5, so you need to round on the same 10. It would be rounded up to 3820. So the correct option is option number 1, that is 3820. Okay, what is 2564 rounded to nearest 100? So which is the correct option? So you need to round to nearest 100. So the digit that is at the hundreds position is 5, and the next one is 6. 6 is greater than 5, so it would be rounded. You need to round up. Very good. The correct option is 2600. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is 5573 rounded to nearest thousand? So which is the correct option? You have to round to nearest thousands. Very good. So it will be rounded off to 6000. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is 7.37 rounded to nearest dollar? $7.37 is an output of 2. $7 option number 3 is the correct option. What is 2272 rounded to nearest 10? So which is the correct option? That is 2270. Option number 1 is the correct option. Hope you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is even or odd arithmetic rules. Is 9 times 6 even or odd? Can you guys please stop chatting? So you have to see 9 is an even number and 6 is an 9 is an odd number and 6 is an even number. You have to see the product of even and odd number is always even. So the product of an odd and an even number is always even. You can see by multiplying 9 times 6 is 54 and 54 is an even number, right? You just have to see the rule and see if the answer is even or odd. Let's just start with the test questions. Is 75 take away 66 even or odd? So 75 is an odd number minus the even number. So you are subtracting an odd and an even number. So the answer is always the odd number. You can see 75 minus 66 is 9 and 9 is an odd number. The correct option is odd. Option number 2 is the correct option. Is 57 plus 11 even or odd? So you are adding two odd numbers. The answer is always even when you add two odd numbers. The answer is always even. You can add the answer is 68 and 68 is an even number. Sum of two odd numbers is always an That is an even number. Option number 1 is the correct option. Is 50 minus 4 even or odd? Fifty minus 4 you are subtracting 2. The difference of two even numbers is always an even number. 50 minus 4 is 46 and 46 is an even number. So that means the difference of two even numbers is always an even. That is even. Is 80 plus 2 even or odd? The sum of two even numbers is always even. So the correct option is option number 1. That is 82. 82 is an even number. Is 29 plus 16 even or odd? So the sum of odd and an even number is odd. The correct option is odd. Option number 2 is the correct option. Is 93 minus 60 even or odd? The difference between an odd and an even number is odd. It is very good. Option number 2 is the correct option. Is 76 plus 22 even or odd? 76 plus 22 is sum of two numbers is always even numbers is always even. Option number 1 is the correct option. Is 41 plus 49 even or odd? The sum of even and an odd, the sum of two odd numbers is always even. Very good. The correct option is even. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson, that is the next lesson is understanding integers. Which integer represents the scenario? A puppy gains 3 pounds. So integers are the numbers that are positive or negative. They are represented by the positive or negative numbers. So the positive number represents the gain or the increase, while the negative number represents the decrease or loss. So in the question, a puppy gains 3 pounds. So gain means that is something that would be increased. So increased are represented by the positive numbers. That is positive 3. Let's just start with the test questions. Which integer represents the scenario 10 meters above sea level? So that is above sea level, that would be an increase. It would be represented by the positive numbers. Which integer represents the scenario 10 fewer inches of rain this year? That is 10 fewer. That means that is a decrease, so it will be represented by the negative number. Which number integer represents the scenario profit of $5? Profit means that would be represented by the positive number, so 5 it is. Then account balance drops by 8. So that is a drop. That means that would be the negative integers. The correct option is negative 8. Which integer represents the scenario? Price increase of $6. So that is an increase. So the correct option is option 2. Which integer represents the scenario? One coupon of that is a decrease, so that would be negative 1. Which integer represents the scenario? A child grows 4 inches taller, so that is an increase. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which integer represents the scenario? Putting 8 fresh cookies into a jar. That is adding. So adding 8 is a positive number, positive 8 it is. Which integer represents the scenario? $7 price reduction. So the price is reducing. That would be negative 7. Which integer represents the scenario? 9 milliliter increase in volume. Again, that is an increase that would be represented by the positive number. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 5 math. The chapter we are working on is place values and cents. The lessons we have covered today are Roman numerals, rounding, even and odd arithmetic rules, and understanding integers. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write down the questions in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So if you have any questions, you can please ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. Any questions? Okay, then